Darien Gap, a stretch of land between the borders of Colombia and Panama, is considered the most dangerous region in the world. Spanning just 100 miles, crossing this treacherous terrain is often described as walking through the valley of death. Because of the Darien Gap, North and South America remains disconnected by any road or railway network to this day. Throughout all of the human history, only 7 attempts have been made to cross this region using a car or jeep. Despite the extreme danger, many people have no choice but to risk the journey. Every year, hundreds of thousands of migrants, especially from South American countries like Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela, venture into the Darien Gap, chasing the dream of a better life in Central or North America. In 2022 alone, over 250,000 people tried to cross this perilous jungle on their way to Mexico and eventually the United States. But among them, hundreds lost their life in the attempt. So what exactly makes this 100-mile region so deadly? And with all the money and technology the world has today, why hasn't any road or railway ever been built through it? Today we uncover the answer to these questions. In the 21st century, where we have seen the state-of-art cities rise even in the scorching deserts, it's hard to believe that a relatively small stretch of island still remains unreachable by road or rail. So why is it so difficult to build infrastructure through the Darien Gap? There are 4 main reasons. The extreme climate. The Darien Gap lies just a little over 100 kilometers north of the equator, making it a hot and humid region. With the Atlantic Ocean on one side and the Pacific on the other, the humidity level remains extremely high throughout the year. The entire area is covered in dense rainforest, and it rains here for nearly 330 out of 365 days annually. The constant downpours occur frequent flash floods and landslides in the mountain, making construction nearly impossible. Building roads or railway requires dry, stable condition. Material like cement, concrete, and asphalt need dry weather to set properly in the Darien Gap, but that's almost never the case. Deadly wildlife. The region is home to some of the most dangerous creatures on the earth. Nowhere else on the planet will you find this concentration of venomous snakes, deadly spiders, poisonous insects, and disease-carrying mosquitoes. With no hospitals or emergency aid available in the entire area, a single bite or sting can easily become fatal. Many who attempt to cross die from malaria, dengue fever, snake bites, or even by drowning in the river. And yet, despite these dangers, it's not entirely impossible for powerful countries like the US or others to build a road here. Difficult, yes. Expensive, absolutely. But impossible, not at all. So why has there never been a serious attempt to build a road or railway through this area? The truth is, some countries never wanted any such network to be developed here, especially the United States and Panama. Back in the 19th century, Panama was actually a province of Colombia. However, due to this geographic gap, it was extremely difficult for the Colombian government to maintain control over Panama. The only viable route to stay connected with Panama was sea. Taking advantage of this disconnection, Panama initiated a movement to gain independence from Colombia. And in the 20th century, a rising global superpower, the United States of America, began to take a keen interest in this movement. The United States had a strong interest in the Panama Canal and wanted to gain control over it. Before the construction of the canal, trade between the eastern and western coast of the US was extremely difficult. Ships had to sail all of the sea around South America to reach the opposite coast, which made the eastern and western region of the country effectively disconnected. To solve this problem, an artificial canal was proposed and eventually built. Through Panama, this canal dramatically shortened travel time, allowing not only trade vessels but also US Navy ships to move quickly and efficiently between the two coasts. At the time, this was seen as a major strategic advantage. Whoever controlled the Panama Canal would in fact control one of America's biggest weaknesses. Colombia, however, was unwilling to hand over control of the canal to the United States. As a result, the US threw its full support behind Panama's independence movement. In 1903, Panama became an independent nation, and the United States was the very first country to officially recognize it. Eventually, the Panamanian government granted the United States a permanent lease on all the land surrounding the canal. As a result, the entire area remained under American control until 1999. That year, the canal was officially handed back to the Panama. However, even today, this point remains strategically important, not only for the United States but for many other countries as well. As of now, around 6% of the world's trade passes through this canal between North and South America. It serves as the critical link between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Each year, approximately 13,000 to 14,000 cargo ships pass through this route. A large portion of trade between Eastern Asia and the United States also rely on this passage, which is why the canal is most heavily used by the US and China. Additionally, it serves as the primary connection between America's western coast and regions like Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Now if we return to the Darien Gap, it lies between Colombia and Panama. Colombia, as we know, has long struggled with violence and instability. Its drug cartels are infamous across South America. In fact, Colombia is the largest producer of cocaine in the world. Much of this cocaine is smuggled northward to Central and North America. However, the presence of the Darien Gap makes this smuggling route much more difficult. Smugglers are forced to take sea routes where Panama's coast guards frequently intercepts them. If a road or rail network were ever built through this region, the US fears that Colombian drug cartels could use it to enter Panama and potentially sabotage the Panama Canal. Not only that, it would become significantly easier for traffickers to move drugs all the way to Mexico and the United States. That's why even if the government of Panama and Colombia were to agree on developing a transport network through the Darien Gap, the United States would likely oppose any such developments. And now we come to the final and perhaps most critical reason to Darien Gap remains undeveloped: to curb illegal migration. Economically, politically, and in terms of quality of life, Latin America still lags far behind North America. Many countries in South America suffer from corruption, weak governance, and political instability, forcing millions to leave their homeland in search of better life. For many of them, there is no more promising destination than the United States. In recent years, the US has significantly tightened its migration policies. As a result, many people now see no option but to reach the US through illegal means. But doing so involves risking their lives, starting with the treacherous journey through the Darien Gap. Every year, thousands of migrants travel through this unforgiving jungle to reach Central America and eventually Mexico and the US. But the single greatest obstacle along their journey remains the Darien Gap. Dengue, malaria, venomous snakes, landslides, floods, and even bandits. Anyone attempting this 10-day journey through the Darien Gap must face all of these dangers. And yet, despite the extreme risk, the number of people crossing the deadly stretch continues to rising every year. But the question is why? Because for those suffering from poverty and hunger, there is often no other choice. Countless people lose their life during the journey, and many of those who survive are left deeply traumatized. Hunger alone can drive people to unimaginable lengths, and it is precisely to stop these desperate individuals from reaching the United States that no railroad or road network has ever been built through the Darien Gap, and likely won't be for many years to come. But this raises a much bigger question: why is there such a massive gap between South and North America? Why does one side represent the world's largest economy while the other continues to struggle in the grip of poverty and hunger? We will be exploring this powerful and complex topic in an upcoming video, so stay tuned. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I can't wait to read your awesome comments. So stay tuned. See you in the next exciting video.